Welcome to Team Podcast. Brought to you by The Park Daily, theparkdaily.com. Go to theparkdaily.com and this is where you can find all our podcasting goodness. In fact, the great DJ Smythe just actually penned a little piece he put up there on the Maple Leafs. So we got some articles up there now. We got all the podcasts this week. You can catch the Horseplay, the Team Podcast. Yeah, go to theparkdaily.com. But on this episode, I'm going to be speaking on the NHL. Everything I believe is wrong with the NHL. Now, you guys might disagree, but I'm going to try and, convince you guys, or maybe convince is the wrong word, but I'm just going to be just airing stuff off my chest, getting stuff off my chest about the NHL, where I think they're going wrong, all that kind of stuff. And in the second half, we got Smythe and KCJ Ford, and we're going to be talking about streaming services, Netflix, all that kind of stuff, where they're going, what they're doing now, pros and cons, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, tune in.
Nash Wells and Smythe host the Team Podcast. We love sports just like you.
What's going on, guys? It's Nash, host of the Team Podcast. I thought today, or at least on this episode, we try something a little different. I thought today I would come in here solo, give you my opinion on something that's been bothering me for a little while now. Mainly the NHL. I've always sat here and said that hockey is my favorite sport. I love hockey. I think it's the most exciting. I think it's fast. Hard hitting. If you like hits, there's hard hitting. Very fast and all that kind of stuff. I like hockey. And being a person who grew up in Toronto, it's almost like you gotta like hockey. You grew up with it. You saw it, and it was great. A wonderful sport to be introduced. I played a little bit. Didn't last that long, but I did play a little bit. But I've always said I love hockey. Can't stand the NHL. I cannot stand the NHL. What do I mean by that? When I say I don't stand the NHL. I guess I'll go back to what actually prompted this. And it was a clip by Brian Burke. Or a question that he was asked on Primetime Sports. And it was prompted by PK Subban being traded to New Jersey Devils. And if you guys haven't seen this, so PK Subban was traded from Nashville to New Jersey Devils. And he put up a video on Instagram saying that he wants to thank Nashville and all those people and the teammates and everyone for having me. But then he said stopped that and said, I can't wait to get to New Jersey. I can't wait to be a Devil. He was putting out little Devil things and whatnot, saying he didn't have that merch, but he's ready to come. He's very excited, all that kind of stuff like that. And Brian Burke took exception to this. He took exception to this, saying that it's always the PK show. This is the reason why he's on his third team. And nobody wants PK. A very talented, Norris winning defenseman, but nobody wants him on his team. Because in Brian Burke's words, it's all about PK. It's a PK show. Brian Burke, to me, he is the face I put to when I say I don't like the NHL. That is the exact face I put to it. The type of people that will defend the NHL no matter what stupid thing they do. How set in their ways they are, and I think that's a great way of describing it. They are just set in their ways. If you don't like our product, then forget it. If you don't like our product, forget it. Get out of here. Is that a proper way to run a business? Is that a smart way to run a business? Now, if you ever hear me, I always say this, and I believe I tweeted it out and whatnot. I think PK Subban is the only superstar the NHL has. I'll say it again. He is the only superstar that the NHL has, by my definition. How do I define a superstar? Every league has stars. Every league has the hockey, the players, the athletes that you hold up. These are the best of the best. Those are the stars. Those are the all-stars. Those are whatnot. Now, the superstars, in my opinion, those guys transcend the sport. Those guys are, if you ask your mother, a person who doesn't watch the sport, whatever, and you ask them, who is LeBron James? Most people know who LeBron James is. They might not watch the sport. They know he plays on Lakers. They know he plays basketball. They even know what he looks like. Hockey does not have that. The NHL does not have that. The last superstars they had, who are still playing, Ovechkin, Sidney Crosby. You can ask almost anyone. They'll know roughly who these two people are. Nobody knows who Connor McDavid is. Or sorry, I shouldn't say nobody. The casual fan doesn't know who Connor McDavid is. The casual fan doesn't know who Matthews is on the Maple Leafs. Mitch Marner. All these young stars coming up. They're not in the zeitgeist of the world of the population. And I say PK Subban because if you follow him on Instagram and whatnot, you'll see he's hanging out with. He just posted a picture where he's hanging out with 2 Chainz. Magic Johnson's friend. He is the only hockey player I've seen on First Take, the number 1 show on ESPN. The only hockey player on there. And this is what I mean, that PK is their only superstar. And the way they treat him is like a pariah. They don't like him. It's shut up. Shut up. Get in line. Tote the line. This is not how we do it. This is not the culture. That's exactly what Brian Burke said to him. This is that video of PK Subban thanking Nashville and welcoming the Devils. That video is exact. Brian Burke said this. That is a problem with PK Subban. That's a problem. You have guys in the NBA that have podcasts who post Instagram videos every day. That, what PK Subban did, should be mild. It shouldn't be anything. And you know, the NHL also had a problem with a lot of these Russians that came in. Ovechkin faced the same stuff when he was around. When he was hot. The same thing. Then we don't like the way Russians act. You should be all about team, not about you. Ray. If you celebrate too much when you score a goal, that's not how we do it here. Now, this goes to a bigger problem that I think the NHL has in general. In general, I personally don't believe the NHL is that entertaining. As far as the business is concerned. And what you guys have to understand, kids, what you have to understand about these sports, NHL, NBA, MLB, NFL, it is entertainment. It is entertainment first, sport second. If you do not entertain me, I will not watch. And the proof is in the pudding as far as the NHL is concerned. They are last as far as the 4 major sports. And the 4 major sports we count in North America. Football's probably first, NBA second, MLB third, and NHL far, far behind them. And they better watch out because MLS is coming up on them. They're not really close right now. They're not close now. But if they're not too careful, they will be passed. And I've always had this problem with the NHL. A sport that I thought was great, and I think everyone should watch it. I take everyone to as many hockey games as I can. I guarantee you, if you go to an NHL hockey game tomorrow, kids, you will love it. If you've never been, if you went to one tomorrow, you will love it. I find it is, out of the 4 major sports, that's the one that you can't keep your eyes off. That's the one you're watching the most. Basketball, you can kind of go in and out because there's a basket scored every up and down the court. Football, there's a lot of dead time. Baseball, same thing. A lot of dead time. But hockey, I find it just goes up and down really fast, and you just can't keep your eyes off it. Now, if we go back to the 90s, I believe it was 97 or so. I believe it was that. There was a Sports Illustrated cover. And I believe it went, I'm paraphrasing here, but basically the cover was NHL on the rise, NBA on the down. Now that cover, I think NBA was coming out of a lockout, I believe. And that cover was basically depicting that NHL is great right now. NHL's fantastic. Just coming off Wayne Gretzky. I think the Rangers won, around that time. And everyone's excited. Now, what the NBA did when they saw that is, no more of that. We're going to change everything. So they changed the rules. They changed the way the players looked. They said no mas to that. And they completely changed everything and developed to what you see today. NHL went the other way. NHL went the exact opposite way. Let's make everything more boring. Ever since Gary Bettman has been there, it's one lockout after another. And believe you me, he is coming up to another lockout. For some, the players, they don't like him. They don't like what they're doing. They hate the escrow. They hate everything. To me, this league is boring. And they keep it that way. They want to keep it that way. They love this artificial parody that they have created. They keep screaming parody. And when I say the parody is artificial, kids, I mean the way they have their point system. And if you guys didn't know this, the way the NHL has a point system, their standing is based on the point system. If you win a game, you get 2 points. If you lose a game, you get nothing. Unless you go into overtime, you get 1 point. So it incentivizes a lesser team to take that better team into overtime. That's just your best chance, so you get that 1 point. It keeps the standings close. So it appears that worse teams are better than they actually are. Which in fact is not really true. I hate the point system. That's one thing, me personally, I would change. Make it a 3-point system. You get 3 points in regulation, 2 points for an overtime win, and 1 point if you get overtime, and 0 if you lose in regulation. I'd make it a 3-point system. If you really want to go further, I'd go 4-point system. But let's take one step at a time. Gary Bettman, to me, is the biggest problem in the NHL, in my opinion. Now, when people say, "Oh, but look what Gary Bettman," now this is true. Gary Bettman has done some good. He's gotten ownership pretty stable in the NHL. Because before him, they literally had criminals in there, people with no money, criminals and people with no money owning teams. And he changed that. He got those guys out, basically stabilized ownership. But a lot of times people will point to Gary Bettman. He's good. He's good for the game because he's raised revenues. They're bringing in more money than they ever have. Yes, this is true. That's because that's how economics work. I'm willing to bet. I'll throw down $100 right now, kids, that the next commissioner of NHL will make record profits. I'm going to bet that because that's how economy works. It goes up. Unless we're in some kind of recession or something like that. But that's the way it works. To me, pointing at the money and saying it's higher than it's ever had before, that's not a good barometer for me. That's not a good barometer. A barometer for me is, how do you stack up against the other leagues? How much more money are you making in the other leagues? How much popular are you in the other leagues? And we're going to see, because Gary Bettman is coming up on a negotiation for the American TV rights And we're going to see how many of these networks are going to be banging at the door. They think it's going to be a mad rush. I don't know. I don't think ESPN's going to throw their hat in there. Maybe Fox. Maybe. I don't know. They need content. Maybe Fox. I personally don't see it, but whatever. Maybe Fox. That's how I'm judging Gary Bettman. On the entertainment value, too. They would love it if every game was 1-0. To them, that's probably a great game. I remember in the 80s when games were averaging around 8 points. This is when Wayne Gretzky, this is the Islanders, the Oilers, they were scoring like crazy. That was an exciting time. Now, because the goalie equipment is so big, that's another thing too. Like, the goalie equipment is so big, I can't tell you who's a good goalie or not. I couldn't even tell you who the best goalie in the league is. I think it's Carey Price. I think. But because the goalie equipment is so big, all the goalies play the same. It's stack the pads, cut off the angles. It's all the same. That's why you'll see one goalie, he's hot for 2 years, and then he's done. Just look at your favorite goalie right now, today. In 2 or 3 years, he will not be that. Look at a picture from a goalie from the 70s, and then look at a goalie now. Just dead on from the front, just dead on. There was zero space to shoot at. This is one reason why you're not getting a lot of goals now. I think now it's averaging about 5 goals per game. I think that's about the average. In my opinion, that's not enough. That's way, way, way too low. Nobody wants to sit around for 20 minutes for one goal. It's boring. I would propose either you make the goalie equipment smaller, which I don't think they will, or you make the nets bigger. Just make the net bigger. Make more targets. They need more goals in the NHL. Just to make it more entertaining. Another thing I would probably change, is maybe, how would you guys say if we got rid of offsides? What would you guys think about that? Now, a lot of people, when you say get rid of offsides, what they picture is one guy standing in the offensive zone and just staying there waiting to catch a puck. That can't happen, because if you do that, then you're going to leave the defense open and create an advantage for the other team. What I'm seeing is more exciting, picture like basketball. How exciting when you see that player just jarred out and they're running down the court, and it might be just one-on-one, or it's an exciting alley-oop, or it's a play like the Miami Heat when they had LeBron and Dwayne Wade. Can you imagine a Tavares, a Matthews, whatever, just getting out and maybe and one-on-one with a goalie? How many times would you love to see that a game? I know I would like to see it a lot. The salary cap. Now, the salary cap, this is a big one for me. I cannot stand the salary cap, the hard cap in NHL. Now, this is one thing that Gary Bettman wanted. I think he had something like 2 or 3 lockouts just to get the hard cap in place. Stupidest thing in sports. I think caps in general are dumb, but the NHL should have a system looking more like the NBA. This is what they tell you, kids. Caps are hard cap is in place, so every team has an even playing field. Every team has a fair chance to succeed. Not true. Since the cap's is in place, how many times the Arizona Coyotes got the Stanley Cup? Matter of fact, before the cap, when everyone can spend and the Leafs had the most money, how many times did they get to the Stanley Cup? None. haven't won a Stanley Cup since '67. I mean, they've been close a couple times, conference finals and whatnot. They haven't gotten. The fact that you can just spend willy-nilly doesn't mean you're going to build a good team. You have to have a smart people in place. And I look at the current Leafs right now. Right now, they're facing the fact that they might not be able to keep a good team that they built. They drafted well, they traded well, and now they're not going to be able to keep them because of the hard cap. One of the most entertaining teams in the league, and they might not be able, and they can't keep it together. I don't understand. Cap is one of the one. I hate it. I can't stand it. What are the things? Outdoor games. How many of you guys know how many outdoor games are there in NHL? They have an outdoor series, which I cannot stand. I know why the NHL does it. And kids, if you're ever curious about any company, anything, reason why they do it, the reason is money. Why? Because the outdoor games are NHL events. So what they do is they'll find a stadium, outdoor stadium, try and fill it with fans. They'll give the team the average gate revenue. That's why that's why they don't really like giving the Maple Leafs outdoor games. I think they've only had one since they started this stadium series. They don't like giving the Leafs outdoor games because their average revenue I think is like $2 million. So they have to hand over $2 million to the Maple Leafs. So, but they keep the rest of the money. The NHL keeps that money. Now, obviously, it's spread over throughout their governors, but they keep that money. This is the reason why they have the stadium games. Now, for the cities, I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's a good old time. I'm sure when it's in your city, you will have the best time. As far as I'm concerned, as a viewer, I don't like it. I can care less. Actually, when I see an outdoor game on TV, most of the time I change it. I would actually prefer it if they just had the one, make it an event, make it the biggest thing you can. It should be only one. Player interviews, coach interviews. Sorry, before we get into that, another huge pet peeve. I know I'm all over the place, guys. Sorry, I'm just trying to put my thoughts together and try to just vent out my pet peeves as they come into my mind. The NHL has a problem with women. I see in all other sports, there are women everywhere. There are women hosts. There are women on the sidelines. There are women even in opinion spots where they have the shows and they get to say their opinions. Where is that happening in the NHL? Where? Hockey Night in Canada, arguably their biggest show. It's just a bunch of white guys. And David Amber. Shout out to David Amber. Just a bunch of white guys. I don't know if you guys saw the video of, I can't remember, the sideline reporter for NBC basically talking to a woman condescendingly who played hockey. Telling him, okay, this is the big show now. This is live, Mike. I'd be paraphrasing if I said this, but just talking condescendingly to a woman who played hockey, who understands the game. This is one of my, and shame on Sportsnet too, for not having more women on their shows. I don't think they've ever have women on Hockey Night in Canada unless they're interviewing them for a World Cup or something. I would love to see more women in these positions, especially sideline reporters, especially reporters. I know there are a few color commentators, women in US. That's fantastic. I love that. Love it. Quite frankly, my favorite color commentator is Doris Burke, who does NBA. I think she's the best. I think when you put women in these positions, they are the harder working. They're harder working because they know they're representing an entire sex. They know people are watching. And they always, I can't even pitch. I don't even remember the last woman who didn't put their best foot forward. I know a lot of men that did it. I know a lot of men that come on these shows and just, they don't do prep. They don't know what they're talking about. They're awful. Paul Pierce. Oh, did I say it out loud? Women, they need to be putting more of these women out there. And like immediately. For now, that's all I can think of right now, as far as the NHL is concerned. And again, I love hockey. I am a fan of the Montreal Canadiens. Everyone knows this. If you've been listening to this podcast, you know that's the only hockey team I love. I love them. But the NHL as a whole, if it was me, I'm getting Gary Bettman out of there, man. The lack of leadership on both sides of the aisle, both the players and in the governors, the lack of leadership is so in your face that they basically, if you ever heard a hockey puck or an insider, they're just basically like, oh, you don't like our sport? Okay, well, tough luck. You don't get it, and we don't want you. We don't want you. We don't want your money. We don't want your viewership. If you don't like our sport, get out of here. We don't want you. You'll hear Bill Simmons say all the time, like, hockey people, they don't want to let you in. They don't want you to let you in that door. This is how they're governed. This is how Gary Bettman, I guarantee you, this is how Gary Bettman tells the governors of hockey. He tells them this. Oh, we can't make a foothold in the United States. We can't make a foothold anymore. There's no plan for these guys. Nothing. Like, they don't even have an NHL office in Europe. They keep jumping around. It's like, is my interest in Europe? No, now it's in China. And I guarantee you, in typical Gary Bettman fashion, they're going to dip their toe in China and leave. They won't set up an office there. Just dip their toe in, get some quick cash, and leave. There's no plan on growing the game. Like, he says it. Like, they'll say it. Yeah, we got to grow the game. But I never see a plan. Are they building arenas, rinks in minority communities? Or they're reaching out, like, and again, I personally don't see it. And the way they keep treating PK Subban, you're alienating an entire culture. I just had KCJ Ford in here talking about this stuff. And he basically said to me, yeah, the NHL doesn't want us in there. Do you hear that, NHL? This is what people are saying about you. KCJ Ford is a black man. And he's saying, yeah, the NHL does not want us there. I couldn't disagree with him. Show me the evidence that shows he's right. I don't know. To me, it starts and stops with Gary Bettman. That's just me. A guy who's, since he's coming here, again, yes, he's put out some fires, but as far as growing the game, moving forward in the future, again, this guy is overseeing so many lockouts. Every chance they get, there's a lockout, and there's going to be another one. Believe you me, there's going to be another one. Lack of leadership in there. And I wish the players would stand up and figure this out. I'm seeing a little bit with Matthews and Marner. I'm seeing just a little bit of that, where players are taking a little bit of control back. They should all band together and figure this out. You guys are worth more than what they're telling you. Stop being brainwashed. Stop being brainwashed by these guys. You're going to hear all in radio, Marner's greedy. Mitch Marner going out for as much money as he possibly can, because that's his right. But you're going to hear a lot of he's greedy. He's not doing it for the team. Brian Burke preaches that. The players should stand up, band together, and figure stuff out. Realize that you guys are the power. The players are the power in these things. Every league. Especially when you have guaranteed contracts. You have nothing to lose. I don't know. That's all I got. That's all I got for now. For now. I know it's all over the place. Maybe it's a little hard to follow. I don't know. Tell me. I'm gonna try and do this solo thing a little bit more. We'll see. We'll see how it gets together. So, but for now, that's it. I got that stuff out my chest a little bit, so I feel better now. Maybe I'll come back at it again, stuff like that. But for now, I guess stay tuned because we got some more podcasting coming up for you guys.
You can catch the Team Podcast anywhere you get your podcasts. So that includes Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and anywhere else you get yours. Also hit us up on our favorite social media sites, which include Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and my personal favorite, Tumblr.
Welcome back. Now I got with me, this is Nash, again. And with me I got, on the ones and twos, the great DJ Smythe.
Not a DJ.
And Casey J. Ford.
Don't forget the J.
All right, so we're here basically because I was sitting around watching bad movies as usual. Has anyone seen, what's that movie called? It was an Asian movie, Roaming Earth or Flying Earth or something like that.
I've heard about Roaming Earth. I heard it is horrible.
Oh my goodness!
Watch.
Are you guys into? Are you into like disaster movies and whatnot?
Well, I think everyone is.
No, not everyone's into disaster movies. Like 20. What is it? 2012?
Yeah, but they're bad movies, but they're entertaining.
What I was told about Roaming Earth was it was unwatchable. It was completely horrible. It's not totally unwatchable.
I heard it makes zero sense.
Well, what they're doing is stupid. What they're actually doing is stupid. You're like, would that even work? But
what are they doing?
The Earth is going. No, the sun is going.
That's it. The sun.
The sun is turning into a red giant, so it's gonna consume the Earth. So they put engines on the Earth and fly it out the way.
So what? No, they're actually flying to another. They're flying to another galaxy. So what they did is they put engines in the middle of the planet, to stop the rotation. So by doing that, it basically screws up the entire Earth, floods the Earth, kills millions and millions of people because they only had a select few that went underground.
But they still have gravity.
Yes, they still had gravity for whatever reason. And then they built tens of thousands of engines on the planet so they can propel it. So they were going to propel it to, I think it was Jupiter or Saturn. What's the one with the storm? The giant storm? Jupiter. So they're going to propel it to Jupiter and do that slingshot thing where they go around the thing and slingshot away. But then, things happened and trouble ensued. But that was a whole thing about that.
So that was a good idea?
That was the idea of the movie.
That's the idea of the movie.
Good for them.
I will watch it. I do like B movies. I know this technically is not supposed to be a B movie.
It's not a B movie. This is probably one of the most expensive movies.
But aren't those some of the best B movies? The ones that aren't supposed to be B movies?
That sounds completely ridiculous.
I don't... Yeah, I guess. I understand what you're talking about. Yeah, I understand what you're talking about.
We've all seen some horrible movies, and it's just like, wow, this is so dumb, it's funny.
But when you say B, I mean, when you say B movie, I automatically take in the budget into consideration. This had a massive budget. It's one of the biggest... I think it was the biggest movie to come out of China. Ever. As far as budget is concerned.
I mean, it sounds like a must-watch.
I see your point.
It's not Netflix. So anyway, sorry. We went on a little tangent about the movie. So this topic basically came about because I started noticing, I don't know if you guys have noticed, on Netflix, more and more originals just keep popping up.
I found their selection of Asian movies is like tenfold.
That has popped up too, yeah.
Asian, Indian.
Mm-hmm.
I think that...
But that brand, Netflix original branding...
So you gotta be careful with that.
No, I know. I know what they do. I know what they do too. Because they have Trailer Park Boys as an original Netflix. In the US. But we all know they didn't actually create it. But I'm just saying that brand has popped up more. And they are creating more and more.
They are, but I do believe that most of these shows are actually just on...
They're just
foreign
purchasing
networks, and they're purchasing the rights to show it, and they're throwing Netflix original on it.
So, through a little bit of research, I found out since 2016, their actual library has gone down by 50%.
Because they just stopped paying to renew certain things.
No, people are taking them off.
Why would you take it off?
Networks and everything are taking their stuff
so
back.
They can put it on their own.
So they can put it on their streaming service. This is what's going on now.
It's not just that. Most networks actually don't have their own streaming service.
They will soon.
They're going to.
They will. Name me a network that doesn't have its own streaming service.
Fox doesn't. Fox
because they got bought out.
Fox has Hulu, right? Fox, ABC, I think they all pay into Hulu, right?
Yeah, right? But that's one company.
No, Fox and ABC. Okay, not ABC. This was before Fox was ABC, but I know Fox and a couple other networks.
But they are one company.
Networks put their stuff on Hulu. To me, you have your biggest streamers. You have the Amazon Primes, which are getting pretty big. The Netflixes of the world.
Mm-hmm. HBO just started theirs.
The companies, well, not HBO develops their own content, so it's different.
I know, but they started a streaming service. Yeah. We're talking about streaming service.
We're talking about streaming service that they don't necessarily develop their own content, but they'll pay for the content. And
sorry, who are you talking about?
So let's just compare Prime, Amazon Prime, to Netflix to Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in the States it is Hulu, right? Whoever pays the most gets the show.
Yeah.
That's all that's happening.
Yeah.
So before, where Netflix was the only game in town...
Now it's a pay-to-play model across...
That's not true. So, for example, I guess HBO is developing Game of Thrones. If Netflix gave them more money, they're not going to put it on there. They're going to keep it on their service.
No, but that's different. HBO develops
Game
of Thrones.
Isn't Game of Thrones on Netflix?
No. But HBO develops Game of Thrones. That's the difference. Right? So take the new Star Trek show. Right?
Yes.
It is on Netflix, the newest one, right? Discovery.
Okay.
It is on Netflix everywhere in the world except Canada and the United States. Mm-hmm. In Canada, it's on Crave because Crave spent more money to have it on their streaming service than Netflix in Canada was willing to pay.
That will change because CBS does have their own streaming service, and a new one that's coming up, Picard, that's going to be on CBS, which is stupid in my opinion. But
it's actually going to be on Crave in Canada.
Picard? Yeah. That I did not know. Okay.
So it's all about the streaming services in different markets, right? Because Crave is Canadian. I'm sure the British have their own. I'm sure Australians, so on and so forth. It's about who's paying more money to have that show.
Yeah, now you're creating content. You're selling it basically the highest bidder in terms of platform because they kind of don't want you to have it on different services.
The truth of the matter is Netflix, which is creating their own content,
yes, they are,
is becoming more like HBO, which is creating their own content and now has their own streaming service.
Because Netflix is going to lose all that other content, though, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the reason why I'm saying that I'm seeing more and more of those, and they have to, because basically now Disney has 3 streaming services now.
3?
Yes, because they bought Fox. Remember, so they have Hulu, they have the Disney Plus, and what is the third one they have?
But they're going to combine that into one.
I don't know.
No,
are they?
I wouldn't. Why?
Yeah, they would. All the Disney and the Fox shows are all going to be Disney Plus, I believe it's called.
So all Hulu stuff's going to be on Disney Plus?
Hulu was not just Fox. Hulu was Fox and a few other networks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah, because we're seeing how they're taking all this stuff off. Jessica, I don't know if you guys ever watched those Marvel shows. Jessica Jones just came out. Jessica, did you watch the last season of Jessica Jones? Yeah. You actually watched it?
I haven't seen it. So no spoiler. I haven't even seen the second.
No, I haven't even watched it because
you haven't seen the second season. No. Too late. It's too late now. No,
but Jessica Jones was a good show.
I know, but have you watched the third season?
Yep, watched it all.
Okay, see, I haven't watched the third season because why am I getting invested in it? Because I know it's done.
Well, they closed.
Maybe they actually
they did.
Since
they
knew
closed it off.
I think they did. I think they did. But
they did.
Me personally, I haven't heard anybody talk about this show and whatnot.
Yeah, it's true.
Because everyone's like, it's it's over.
Yeah.
Like, why am I even gonna bother investing into it and stuff like that?
It's gonna be interesting the next few years, though.
Disney picked up none of those guys.
Well,
No, they're
they
not.
couldn't.
They're not.
Yeah, I was
They
like, oh,
couldn't, though.
I thought they were just gonna keep it running.
But
Because
it'll
now-
be interesting to see the different streaming services, which ones will survive. Because you're right, we're gonna see 10, 15 probably come out over the next little while. We'll see which ones survive. Because it's not, you can't have 10, 15 different streaming services. Right? People are not going to pay for that.
I mean, Disney can handle itself. It's not gonna ever go away.
Disney,
Can they?
Yeah, they're not gonna stop.
Because they have Fox, I could say yes, I agree with that.
And
Before
also-
they got Fox, I did question it.
How expensive is it once you have the content? They're creating movies. It's not like they're doing like they're gonna. I don't know how many original shows they're actually planning to do. They already have all the movies.
Well, they own the Fox TV network,
Right.
right? So they created their own show, so
You have
they already
content.
have that structure.
Exactly.
Well, I've always argued with you guys. It's not about what they already have, because you're not going to pay whatever it is, $16.99 or whatever, to watch movies you've already seen before.
Right.
If they're not developing their own content, the content I'm hearing they're developing actually bores me to tears.
Right.
But it's on Disney Plus. Like, I don't care about a Scarlet Witch. Like, it's all Marvel-based TV shows.
That's the Disney Plus stuff. What I'm saying,
Yeah, that's the Disney Plus stuff.
Fox
Now, yeah.
network
Yeah.
has been making new shows for years, for God knows how long,
And that's
decades.
free content. Right.
Exactly, that will be on the Disney Plus.
Well, it's not really free because they're paying for it. It's their company now, so they're actually paying for it.
Yeah, no,
So
but I'm
that
saying
stuff.
the show's already there.
But you have to come up with new stuff now. Because, again, look at Netflix. They come up with tons of stuff. Like, you can literally go week to week on Netflix and go, okay, what's new now?
Yeah, absolutely.
And go on there and look at it. I don't know if that's necessarily good all the time.
Of course, it's
The
good.
fact, no, it's not good all the time. Because things get lost. Good things get lost and
so.
stuff like that. Well, you're wasting money that way. So
Well, I mean, that people still watch it. You might not catch all of it, but there's still
no,
people out there that are going to catch it.
they cancel shows all the time. Like to Get Up. Did you ever even look at that show? They
Oh,
canceled
I
it. They
watched
canceled
it,
it.
but they
I watched
canceled it.
I liked it.
I know, but they
I
canceled it
didn't think
because it
was
gets.
great, but I liked
Yeah, they canceled it because it got lost.
Not enough people
in the
watched
shuffle, right?
it. No, it did get lost in the shuffle. It was actually over budget.
That's
The show is way over budget.
I think it was like it cost something like 100. It was like $100,000.
They were
Yeah,
over
way
budget.
way
Yeah,
100.
That's what happened to that show. But do you guys know that if you go on a network like global.ca or you can actually watch a lot of
they
these shows.
stream a lot of their shows on there already
Right?
too for
Like-
free.
Sorry, what shows? The shows that they have?
Almost all of them, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that.
So
CBC does that, which is I like that too.
almost every
Everyone
network
is doing
does
it, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting, like, and they play the ads during it, and it's. I know I've watched a bunch of shows off of that. I honestly don't know.
Well, they're catering to the quote unquote younger generation who is watching everything.
For years though.
Yeah, they're catering to the younger generation who quote unquote is using their tablets and stuff like that and watching TV and stuff like that. I know for me personally, I watch a lot of content and a lot of stuff on my phone, even on a laptop.
But
I
you
don't
can watch these shows on
Yeah, 100%,
your phone.
100%.
You can go to
I think that's what they're catering
global.ca
to.
and I can watch my NCIS.
Yeah,
Right?
100%. That's what I think they're catering to. Now, going to Disney service, this is the one that seems to be like everyone believes that this one's going to shake up the whole thing. That this is the one that's going to actually challenge Netflix and whatnot. Do you guys see another challenger out there as far as Netflix is concerned?
Disney's going to take everyone with kids, right?
I don't know if that's. I've disagreed with you guys tons about this. I don't necessarily see that because it's a kid. Kids don't have money.
But Netflix's kids section, when you have a 4-year-old who wants to watch, I don't know, whatever, and it's no longer Netflix, now it's on Disney, you're just going to purchase Disney. It's not rocket science. They know they're going to have that market.
I disagree. I think no one will cancel their Netflix subscription. I'm
Netflix,
talking
I think,
about-
Netflix, I think, is big
$10.
I don't-
Disney is going to be
16.
8.
15. No, Netflix is like $15 now, I think, or something.
No, that's for the
Better package.
better package. It's
Disney
$10.
said it's supposed to be $6.99 American, which $9 save. But I'm not saying cancel. I'm saying they're going to get Disney. They don't care if you have both, right?
Exactly.
No one wants to compete for. They just want you to have more than one
Exactly.
service.
That's why I think it's two different mediums,
Well,
right? Like Disney may be more catered to children and stuff like that, and people will still keep their Netflix to watch their Riverdale and whatever other shows are on there.
$7 a month American.
Right.
Disney Plus.
Hulu's $8 a month, right? CBS is like $6 a month, right? Like, I mean, people could get. I have 3 streaming services: Amazon Prime, Crave, and Netflix.
At the exact same 3.
Okay, I pay basically $30 a month for them. Like Amazon Prime and Crave, I paid up front, but let's just say $30 a month. That is still $70 cheaper than what I was paying the cable company.
And how much you paying for internet?
Well, you had internet anyway.
Yeah. Plus you're paying that for your cable.
Yeah, so you had your internet, which was like, let's say, 60, 70 bucks in Canada.
Yeah.
Right? And then you had your Rogers cable or Bell cable. I don't want to pick on Rogers. Right? And you were paying the same, you were paying just as much for the TV.
If not more, because what did cable cost? I didn't even know, like $100 or something like that?
Yeah. So to me, like, I mean...
Now you're only at $30.
It's still a save.
Now you only have $30 with all these streaming services. Because I have the exact same... Actually, I have more streaming services. As now I just added YouTube to it. And Hey Ya, which is a what do you call it? Reality show one.
Hold on, you watch reality TV?
I watch one reality show. You know there's two people in my house, right?
Okay, fair point.
You spend the same amount you spend on basic cable, basically on streaming services.
I do have
so much more.
I do have a limit. I have a limited cable too as well.
Right.
Why?
How many?
Because you need sports, man.
Sports is basically.
You look at that. You look at all the packages. Nothing off.
And it's hilarious. As soon as the NBA and NHL finals were done,
Done with cable.
I'm done with TV. I don't watch it, which
So,
is
yeah,
hilarious.
If you watch every sport, I could see that being a necessity.
I might think about getting rid of that. But how many streaming services do you have, Smite? Or how many streaming services do you think you'd be willing to go to?
No, I have Amazon because Amazon Prime, and I have the Max Netflix.
Oh, and I
account.
have HBO too. I forgot.
And that's it. I don't have anything else because everything else I get because I have a legal.
If you have Crave, why don't you just get the HBO through Crave? That's what I have.
I don't know if that will work. I didn't actually do it, so I never actually looked into it.
Yeah, Crave is the thing to go. Crave
Well,
Canada is
Because I had Crave, but I couldn't get Game of Thrones for some reason. So I had to get HBO.
So there's Crave, and then there's Crave Plus. So I have Crave Plus,
yeah.
The people who don't live in Canada are just loving this conversation right now. But sorry, you had Crave Plus.
which gives you the HBO.
No, Crave Plus
All the
is,
new
is
shows.
Okay, maybe
is
that's what I got.
good.
Then.
It's worth it.
That's probably what I got.
Crave Plus is great.
Yeah, I have an Android box.
You see, and that's another thing. Now, that might be a product, Smythe, of what you just said. Of there's too much stuff out there, and you basically
that's not the reason he has it.
yes, it is.
No,
He's trying to circumvent everything. He's trying to go around
Why?
it.
It's not
What do you
because
mean?
it's too hard to find it. It's because he doesn't want to pay
Yes.
the exorbitant price
For
Everything.
for
everything. That's what I said.
Exactly.
He's trying to circumvent that.
Oh, I thought you were talking about there was just too many streaming options
No.
to choose from.
They're just like, to be honest, like the reason why you watch most of your TV is because of sports. Sports is not offered yet.
Well, men
on
do.
any,
Yeah, we do.
right?
As far as
Well, even women, like Women's World Cup is on.
yeah, but there's other things that other people watch.
Yeah,
Like, there's things
that-
like The Bachelor. There's things like I don't know, The Voice, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because like you can get those shows for free. Like Casey said, you go to the internet, the website for that station, and they'll let you watch any show you want.
Do they?
Yep.
You can
And
watch
you
The
can-
Voice.
Well, hang on.
Right
well,
off of-
wait. Do sports channels let you do that?
No, that's the one that.
Sports
Yeah,
don't let
no.
you.
Sports do
And
not.
that's
let
why
you.
you buy cable.
Every other network allows you to go on their website and watch the show for free.
You know the third service I was trying to think. ESPN Plus. That's the third
There you
service
go.
that Disney has.
ESPN Plus is worth it.
No, that's the third service that Disney has. So they have
Yeah.
Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN
ESPN
Plus.
And ESPN Plus lets you watch all ESPN.
No, it's
They
because of
have
UFC.
certain things. They don't have all. They have
Well,
all the niche sports
it's
like
$5
soccer.
a month.
They have soccer, boxing, all these like niche sports stuff like that. They and some baseball. They're not putting basketball in there because that costs too much money, and they're not putting football in there because that makes way too much money for them
Cable.
on
That's all cable.
It's a start, though.
Yep.
I see what you're saying.
They'll have NHL on there, maybe.
They're not getting it, Joe. They're not.
They don't even acknowledge the
They're not.
league
They're not.
exists.
They're not even gonna waste a dime on that
Right?
thing. Yeah, I was saying how far can this stuff go? Now I was debating with you, Casey, about this before. Now, let's say for example, you want to watch Game of Thrones, you got to get HBO Crave, whatever you want to watch. You want to watch something on Netflix. I don't know. Pick your favorite show. You got to get Netflix. Now you want to watch Friends. You got to get some other streaming service now too. Blah blah blah. Now I was debating with you. Shouldn't it be everyone gets a chance to stream all these things and allow the streaming services to fight for your dollars?
Well, how would
That's
they do
how
that?
that's how cable worked before, right?
And,
Rogers and Bell.
Look how that turned out.
I know, but they fought for your dollar.
No, they didn't. They
Well,
had
Rogers-
the exact
sorry.
same prices.
Sorry, Rogers and Bell's a bad example up here because
In the States, it's the same. It's the
well, there's
exact same.
multiple things.
It's the exact same. They pay just as much for their cable. It's ridiculous. They pay less for their phone bills, but for their cable and internet, they pay just as much as we do.
But wouldn't that be a better better way of doing it. So, for example, you have Game of Thrones, you have Friends, you have, I don't even know what show Netflix does, whatever, Ozarks or something like that.
Sure.
But everyone can show these shows now. Hulu, Netflix, they all get an opportunity to show these shows. Obviously, you have to pay for it.
So the problem with that is a lot of these shows right now, the streaming service or the network actually
creates the
for
shows.
No, they create it, 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously, Netflix will have to...
If we do the method you're talking about, individuals will have to find their own financing to pay for those shows, to create the show. And then they could sell it to every streaming network they want, right? Unfortunately, TV shows are just too expensive, right?
Very
Or
expensive.
movies to create.
Well, if everyone... Well, example, Game of Thrones. You don't think Netflix would pay top dollar to have that?
Yeah, but if I'm HBO, why would I want to put my show on Netflix when I can make you pay for my streaming service?
I understand it works for the company. I'm not talking from the company. I'm talking about the consumer. It would work better for you.
It would also work better for the consumer to have one service.
You know me. I'm
pro competition.
Nobody's talking from the company's point of view.
Capitalism
Why
for
not
life?
for a consumer? For you now, Smythe, it's so if Netflix had the opportunity to do that, who are you going to go to now? So every streaming service has Game of Thrones. Who are you going to go to now?
I do not. Think
Whoever
it's right.
offers you
The best price.
best price, best service.
Yeah.
I do not think it's right. If I create content, I do not think it's.
You're still getting
right.
your money.
No.
Yes.
I should be able to, because you know what happens if I have to give it to everybody? I'm going to get less. By me creating
Not
content,
necessarily.
no,
That's not true.
Definitely.
Well,
That's not
you
true.
get paid. You get paid up top before anyone gets to watch it. I guess I don't know how much that would
Let's
cost
say I
though.
pay for my own content. I pay to create my own content.
Yes, you create your own content. Yes.
I'm going to sell to the highest bidder.
Okay.
All right. Your method, I can't do that. I have to give it to everyone, which means
You still have to
overall,
pay for
I'll
it.
Get less.
Yeah, but they pay less for it though.
Well, it's the same concept as movie theaters. 'Cause I told you this before. Movie theaters used to be if, like, say for Universal created a movie, they would only show it in Universal movie theaters.
Yeah.
So now they changed that. So everyone.
But why did they change it? That's the question you got to ask yourself. Because to me, it makes more sense they changed it because they didn't want to own and operate a bunch of buildings all over the
That's
country.
exactly because Cineplex said they're going to show movies, or
Right.
whoever said they're going to show movies for you.
The overhead cost, maybe that's probably
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
No, actually, to be honest, I think someone stepped in and said, "No, you got to spread it out." Whatever. I actually got to do.
We can look that up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Google. All of us have a computer in front of us.
I did know the reason why that would just take too long, but
I'm not looking it up. But
My
Yeah.
computer's working.
But I can't even remember where I was going for it. But again, if you use the movie theater as an example, I'm using, which movie theaters do you go to?
Cineplex.
Why?
Okay, well, back in the day,
Because
when
it has
there was-
VIP.
Well, first
It gives
of all,
you- it
Cineplex
gives
is
it-
the
gives
only
you-
one that exists right now in Canada.
For the most part, yes.
When there was AMC
Mm-hmm.
and Cineplex, I went to the AMC
Why?
because it was the cheapest,
Okay. And why did you change?
and that's how it should work.
I know, but why did you change?
Because AMC got bought up by Cineplex, and there are no more AMCs, right?
I guess.
But
There was a sea change. There was a reason why Cineplex can do that, because people started going to some more Cineplexes because they were offering a better service. You go to Cineplex because of VIP.
no. Okay. So we're mixing arguments.
Okay.
Back in the day when we were younger,
Yes.
there was Cineplex, Famous Players, and AMC.
Correct.
Cineplex and Famous Players were Canadian, right? And we were paying like $16 to go watch a movie for a ticket.
Yes.
AMC came, and we were paying $10 to go watch a movie. That's why everyone went to AMC.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of competition. You get rid of that competition, you end up with just Cineplexes, and we're probably paying $20 now.
Now, in the streaming service world,
Well, that's because we're going to be.
in the streaming service world, are you not having competition this way?
No, because
Now-
you notice how Netflix is the most expensive out of all the streaming services. You notice that, right?
Because they're burning money like crazy.
But
yeah.
the point is, if you didn't have competition, they'd all charge $20, right? Because what's the incentive of them not to, right? If you have to force them to do better than their competition, one, they'll create a better product, make it. Because I'll be honest, I hate watching shows on Amazon Prime. It's the worst interface I've ever seen in my life, right?
Oh, it's the worst.
Compared to Netflix.
Compared to Netflix, yes, it's bad.
Right?
Yes, compared to
Amazon,
Netflix.
Amazon Prime's free.
No, it's not.
No.
You're paying for it.
You pay for it. But
You are paying for it.
No, but you're right. Amazon Prime isn't focusing on their streaming
Competitive.
service.
No.
But if there's a show to watch, if the same show's on Amazon Prime that's on Netflix, I guarantee I'll watch it on Netflix.
Of course.
Because the UI,
Well, that's my point, though.
the user interface on Amazon Prime is awful.
Yeah, but that's my point, though. They're creating a better product, and yes, Netflix is a higher price because basically they're burning through cash and they probably need them. They probably need the money.
No, they're also creating the most content, though,
Yes.
right?
I know. So I'm saying they're burning through cash by creating the most content. Now the other ones are cheaper because they're trying to drag you. I don't all the way believe that fully. That just because it's cheaper, you will go to it.
No,
That's not all the way true because again, Netflix is not the cheapest.
but Netflix.
But you are going to Netflix.
The difference.
If they all had, if Netflix and Amazon Prime had the exact same shows, and Amazon Prime was $2 cheaper a month,
You do Amazon
you
Prime.
will be doing Amazon Prime.
What we're saying is the quality of the content
Maybe.
on Netflix makes it worth more money
Exactly.
because they create more shows you can't see anywhere else.
And you have access to more shows. I'm not like all the international movies, like the Portuguese movies I'll watch or the Indian movie I'll watch. I don't have access to that anywhere, right? Like, so that's what you're paying for.
Netflix does kind of bother me as far as their interface is concerned.
What?
I'm not saying it's perfect, but
It's flawless.
No,
No,
there's flaws.
I
There's
don't like
flaws.
the new one. I like
There's flaws.
the previous one before. I found it easier, but
Because now their algorithm, their algorithm used to be they're going to give you movies that you want to watch based on what you're watching, blah, 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 blah. Now they're feeding you Netflix stuff. They are feeding that to you.
Yeah.
Every week you'll see the newest Netflix show.
it's
They're
not
feeding.
bad. So let's take that what's his name? The Always Be My Maybe movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Randall Park
Yeah.
right? Good movie.
Yes.
Would not have known it existed
No.
if they didn't play the little trailer at the beginning when
Yeah,
it turned on
Bright.
Netflix. So I don't have a problem with
But
that.
do you
Bright,
know? Do you know
Bird
why
Box.
though? They started releasing also numbers on Netflix. How many people have watched this
a
show
lot of people are skeptical.
because they're bringing revenue into it. They're bringing that revenue into.
No,
Netflix.
now they're bringing revenue
Yes,
into it
'cause
because now, hey, we spent money on this.
we need to
Watch
make more
it.
money. Yeah,
Please.
Well, they're saying, listen,
But
Please.
can you blame them?
Yeah.
Why
No,
would
they
do
have to
that?
make money. Every company has to make money,
Listen,
right?
This is the world we live in. We live in a world, and I think this is even though our world is not perfect by any means necessary, I think this is the best we could do.
We can always do better.
but
You know it's better.
they're saying this ad spot's worth this much money because this many people watch it over the weekend. So eventually they're going to say who wants to put their commercial there, and everyone's going to raise their hand. Let's be honest.
I don't think Netflix will put ads.
100%.
No, I think they will raise prices before they'll put ads.
They
have.
almost can't put ads because that's
That's what their brand
Netflix.
is.
The second you put an ad in there, you're gonna be like, oh, I don't like this.
What is it on?
How much is Disney Plus again?
And you have to remember, a lot of shows now, the ads are in the show.
Yeah.
Right? I remember when I used to watch a show called Fringe. It came on Fox. And every car in that show was a Ford. Every single car.
That was
Do you remember back in the day in the 80s? Like you would see this. Like I believe it was like E.T. They were eating like M&Ms and stuff like that. You looked at it and goes, oh, they're eating M&Ms. I eat M&Ms too, just like me. It's like blah blah. That was product placement.
Oh, yeah.
It's just we didn't notice it now.
And it's even more blatant.
Now
where
it's
that
so
logo, you
blatant.
see it, right? The Microsoft Surfaces on the desk
Yep.
with the Microsoft symbol perfectly angled to the camera. Right? Like they do. That's where the ads are.
Transformers.
Now. They're in
Transformers. I hate Michael Bay. Transformers.
the cartoon was a toy commercial. Too.
No, not that. No, the movies.
But I'm saying it was
In
more-
the U.S., in Texas, what's the guy who's starring in the Transformers, the new one? Mark Wahlberg. He's using a Japanese bank in Texas.
It's got to get.
I was like,
But I mean, that's
can
where
you make this more blatant?
Yeah, but that's where the new ads are. But I saw the movie on Netflix, I Am Mother. Good movie, I recommend it. Not great, but it's a good movie.
Yeah, actually, I do like it.
But there was no product placement in that. So I mean,
That you noticed.
I think we're 6 months away
From what?
from you. Click on the newest Netflix movie,
No,
and you're going
they're
to
not gonna
see
do
a
that.
commercial
They're not gonna
before
do
that
that.
movie
I
starts.
don't think so.
Because that commercial spot will be worth millions of dollars.
That is true, but they're not going to do that, Smith. Because, again, if they put that in there, the second they put that in there,
They're going to lose subscribers.
they're going to lose subscribers.
But he has a point. If you put it at the beginning, not in the between.
I don't like that
Just
either.
like a preview.
But
This
in the
is the
beginning-
reason why I got YouTube Prime Premium.
So
Because I use
stop it.
YouTube a lot.
'Cause you hate the ads.
I can't. Have you? I don't know if you guys you use YouTube a lot.
It's worth $10 a month to go down.
They started. I think last month they started doubling up on ads.
Yeah.
So in front of your video, now there's 2 ads that show
You just download the extension that blocks the ads from playing on YouTube.
the extension.
Yikes.
Yeah, there's extensions that will block.
Well,
the ads.
with YouTube Plus, I get all the shows and stuff now, so I'm fine.
Mine's free.
I didn't know that extension. I'm gonna look into that.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna ask Casey what it is. It's annoying.
I use Mozilla.
I can't stand YouTube, man. Like
Right.
the ads, and I understand they have to make money. They have to make money, right?
I use Mozilla, and there's an extension that actually blocks ads on YouTube.
Yeah. So, but the ads on
Yeah,
YouTube.
they'll eventually break it, I'm sure, and then
Yeah.
they'll hack around it again.
Can you use it on your,
God
is
for
it
theirs.
is it only on your desktop, or you can use it with your phone?
I do not know. I don't watch too much YouTube on my phone.
I
I
watch,
have it
I
on my
watch,
desktop.
I watch a lot of YouTube on my phone.
So that means that when you like are playing like videos, like music videos and stuff, and you close the phone app, the video keeps playing, the song keeps going.
No,
never actually-
it won't.
never- I never
So
actually
I
played
do
it.
notice.
Or do you
with
need
Netflix-
YouTube Music?
With
Yeah, I don't use
YouTube,
YouTube.
if you're not using the blocker, you can be in the middle of watching something. It'll just stop. Perfect, guys, in mid sentence.
You gotta hit play again.
Stop. We'll play an ad,
Yeah.
and then it'll start up exactly where the guy left
Yes.
off. And it's not like a TV show where it cuts to black and then it goes to the commercial. It's just like, and this is what I want to talk. The Nissan so and so.
I was watching a video, and I opened it up. It's like an hour-long video, and you know how on
Little
YouTube they have
yellow
the yellow
yeah.
things? Yellow. There must have been 50. I looked at the video. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be annoying.
I can't sit through
Like
that.
mid-sentence, like you were saying, it stops, and maybe they're doing that on purpose now,
So you buy it.
so you buy it. Because I've noticed in the last couple months on YouTube, it keeps popping up. Buy premium.
Well, I asked the question: how much then are they paying the people who are putting the
content creators?
Yeah,
They've actually cut them in the last year.
Exactly.
They keep changing it around.
To me, Google is like one of the most evil companies in the world.
Wow.
They're
YouTube.
bad.
Wow.
They're bad, man.
They're rich. What do you want from them?
Yeah, but I mean, they don't give their content creators don't make anything.
Well, they
On
do.
YouTube?
A few do,
Oh.
Wow.
The big ones do. The big ones actually make a living.
but a majority, like 99% of them, and I really mean 99%.
That's because everyone is creating content. You're gonna play every single person.
I get it, but if you're gonna put 50 ads in my video, I'm not getting any of that.
Well, that's not.
You
all the way
make
true.
a couple cents on it, but if you have subscribers, then you make a lot more. It's just,
No.
have a following-
If you have, like, say for example, if you I've noticed if you have 1 million followers on YouTube,
Yeah.
probably around 900,000, you're making a living.
of course,
They're okay. Like that's their job,
yeah.
and they're making a living.
What kind of living?
I don't know.
I think
I
I
don't
will
know.
say they
I don't
probably
know.
make decent money.
The one I
What's
watched.
decent money.
I don't know, but at 1 million followers, I
You
think
can say you
make
don't
a
know.
living.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But the guy I watch, Comic Books Explains, that's his job, and he has about 1 million something
Yeah,
followers.
that's fine.
I don't know what he does. I don't know how much money he's
Because
pulling
there's-
out. I
there's
don't know.
Decent, like
Yeah.
you're making a few $100,000 a year, and then there's decent as in you're making 30 to 40 grand a year, which is enough to live on.
100%.
But
Is it enough to retire on?
I don't know. I guess maybe when I think of entertainment, the media platform, I think
Everyone should be rich.
you just
No,
think of it
not
that
necessarily.
way, right?
Everyone isn't, and that's the reality of it. That's not how.
especially with YouTube, right?
Yeah. Well,
Well, YouTube wasn't always like that. YouTube was paying their content creators, but now YouTube is like owned by Google now. They want their money. Which is, and I understand what you're saying where it's evil. It's like if it wasn't for the content creator, you wouldn't have this.
Because they're the only game in town.
Yeah,
that
the only game
know
in town.
it.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's what happens when you do not have competition. So you
I
want
agree.
your Netflix for everybody thing. That's exactly what's going to happen.
that's how.
No, my Netflix for everyone is they would actually fight for your competition.
it would
They
be cheaper.
No company will listen. If I own Google, I'll be doing the exact same thing they're doing right now. Right? Let's be honest, right? But when you have competition, you're more inclined to do better for your customers to keep them.
Well, in my situation with that thing, you have to fight for the dollars. You have to now Netflix and say for example Netflix and Hulu. What would make them different? They would have to fight to get your dollars. Now.
Exactly.
That's
That's
the
the good thing.
but that's what I'm saying. If everyone has Game of Thrones, now Hulu and Netflix have to fight either to give you better product or a cheaper product.
I see what you're saying.
That's what I'm talking about.
I think with content creation, though, that's why you can't do it. But we already talked about that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, what's next on the agenda?
It says a YouTube partner makes $9.90 per 1,000 views.
Pardon me?
A YouTube partner can make $9.90 per 1,000 views.
Sorry, $990?
No, $9.90
Yeah, it used to be based on likes,
For
views.
how many views?
for 1,000 views.
Okay.
So it used to be based on views, subscribers, and stuff. They took away the subscriber thing, so they took that away. Now it's based on views and likes and stuff like that. They also get paid on likes. Sorry, one more thing I want to touch on. As far as these streaming service giants are concerned, can you see a world where it's just full of just streaming services?
Yes, very easily.
I see it will start out that way.
Yes, and it will
And
collapse.
then it will collapse.
I
And
think
then you will have your main 5 or 6.
I think Netflix. No, it depends. It does depend because again, if you go back into the history of this stuff, when Netflix came to Blockbuster and said, "Hey, we want to take your movies and put them on a streaming service," and Blockbuster said, "No, that's stupid. How are we going to make money in the stores?" Because Blockbuster thought they were untouchable and they were giant.
Bro, think of this.
Now Netflix, I do believe all these companies and stuff like that, they will be coming back to Netflix. Who knows it? If it's going to be Netflix, they'll be coming back to one. I don't know.
Blockbuster was stupid.
Hold on your Blockbuster thing. Let me just get a point here,
Yeah,
okay?
go on.
A company walks out with something that hasn't been done before, and they want a chunk of your business, which is basically what they said. Hey, here's what we're doing. Give us 40% of what you guys are doing right now.
But what they said,
and we'll put you on.
But what they said to Blockbuster was, keep your stores,
Yeah.
but we want to now put these movies on a streaming service.
Right, so they'll never come to your store again. They'll stream
No,
it, and
that's not- Netflix started off as vending machines.
Yeah, vending
Yeah.
machines. Yeah,
Movies.
yeah.
but then they figured out.
Then
Streaming.
they figured out streaming.
All I'm saying,
and
was
then they did that.
they
Then
went-
they had a renting service where they actually delivered movies to your
But
house.
I wouldn't say Blockbuster was stupid. I think Blockbuster was a victim of the times.
right.
More so
What
than
I was saying
anything.
was
It is
Netflix.
very hard. It is very hard to see into the future. It swallows up companies like crazy.
No.
It is hard.
They're a brick and mortar
Yeah.
industry.
Listen,
Yes, I know.
They knew it was coming.
No, I didn't.
Netflix said, "Hey, give us half your worth now,
Didn't say that.
or else we're going to take it all." When they
never said
when
that.
they walked in
They
and
never
said
that. They never said that.
Listen, when they walked in and they said, "Hey, we're going to put what you do on the internet so people can stream it,"
Were you part of that meeting?
Apparently so. They never said that.
I don't think Blockbuster said, "Hey, that's stupid. It's never going to work. Go and try."
No,
I
want
don't
to
think
stay. They want to stay in their brick and mortar. Do you ever remember that commercial where the girl were? I think it was like a 60s or 70s meeting or 80s or something like that. And then the girl's like, "Hey, why don't we take all our music and put it online?" And the one guy turns up and is like,
How's that sell CDs?
"How's that going to sell CDs?"
Yeah, that's not where Blockbuster was. I think they knew the end was coming. They hoped that it didn't happen that fast.
No, you're talking later in Blockbuster's life. This is it. They came to them in the 90s.
I know. I'm telling you, they knew it was over.
Hang on. You saw this coming, Smythe, in the 90s.
When
You saw this streaming service.
No, not
dead
saw
in the
it.
90s.
They said, "This is great. I hope it dies." That's what I think Blockbuster said. They didn't say, "Oh my God, let's jump on this." Like, we hope it doesn't go through, because these guys who want a piece of our company today, we don't want to give them any
I
of
didn't
that.
know they wanted a piece of the company.
They didn't want Pieces of Company. He's not even telling the truth. That's not how it went down.
What do you think a
Alternative
partnership?
facts.
What do you?
Yes,
how do you
it's
think-
alternative facts.
How
What
do you
they
think
said
that
is-
works? How
no.
do you think a company works when they walk into their company and ask for a partnership?
They wanted the licensing from what they're getting to start selling it online. That's what they wanted. They said, "Blockbuster, do what you're doing." But now we're taking this company, taking part of your business and putting it online now.
What does that mean?
That doesn't mean we want half your company.
What does that mean in your eyes, Casey?
So I'm confused. Sorry, did Netflix have a meeting with Blockbuster?
Apparently, they wanted the licensing from Blockbuster to start selling certain movies that they had and putting it online. So they wanted to create a giant company with Blockbuster and Netflix.
They
Yes,
had the rights to
yes.
the rent.
They wanted a
for those
giant
videos.
company with everything.
I don't know.
It would have gave Netflix a head up, but they weren't going in there going, "Hey, Blockbuster, give us your company." They didn't say that. They didn't do that. But anyway, I don't even remember what my point was. No, I believe a lot of these companies they're gonna branch out, like CBS. They're gonna every network's gonna come with their own streaming service, and then they're gonna come back. Everything's gonna come back.
They're already there. You can go to CBS right now and watch.
I know, but you're not gonna get it. You already aren't getting it, Mike. You already are circumventing everything with your Android box. You're not getting it. You're not paying for it. Are you going to pay for CBS?
No,
Are you going to pay for CBS?
They're not
Hulu?
charging. Is what I'm trying to say.
CBS is free.
Those are free already.
They will have a paywall. They're going to have a
They
paywall.
have it. They don't. Right now they
No,
don't.
but they will. They are coming up with a service.
No, but
they
they-
will have a paywall.
So if I could go on CBS right now and I could watch something. I have to watch the ads,
Yeah.
right? And that's how they make.
That's
money.
all they're serving you. That's
they're
all
doing.
they want to do.
It's TV. You have to watch the commercials. You can't fast forward them. That's
all they want to
No, but the streaming service is now no commercials. That's the difference.
That's the streaming service.
Yeah,
I'm
that's what I
talking
said.
about. No, but what we're saying is you could also go to their website
And watch
brand new
stream
shows.
TV
With
for
commercials.
free right now. Yeah.
With commercials.
Which I have no problem
So
with.
what you're thinking is, do you think that commercials are enough for you to pay to watch the same shows you can get for free without commercials?
Nobody wants to see commercials.
I mean, Spotify does it.
And
YouTube does it.
A lot of people have
right?
the
Non-paid?
free Spotify. A lot of people have it.
Yep.
I don't know how the hell they use it, but a lot of people
I don't know.
have
One person has it. I actually don't like Spotify that much. I know you guys prefer.
Swear by
it.
it.
Much better than
I don't find it that
Apple
much better.
Swear by it.
Well, after we're done, you're gonna have to explain to me how you think it's better. But
it has more songs.
not necessarily. But anyway, we're not here to talk about
It has more
that.
international songs.
International. Oh, so
Yeah.
you can listen to
Songs that are
Soca.
outside
Apple
of
has
North
more
America.
So you can listen to Soca.
Yes.
Fair enough. That's
Or
fair.
if I'm from other countries, I can listen to the
Yeah.
music from my
I
home
got.
country.
Are you listening? Are you listening to Soca? Okay, I guess.
Of course, I have
I
a ton
guess.
of soca on my Spotify.
No, I know you're listening to Soca. You're not listening to anything else. You just want to listen to Soca. Okay,
No,
that's fair.
I have some other stuff.
Bango drums going on.
What,
in there.
Indian music?
Sure.
I actually have 3 Indian songs. So I'm fine.
On his playlist.
For someone who listens to a lot of rock and like hip hop and stuff like that, it's like
For American and European music, Apple Music is great. If you want to go outside of that, Spotify.
Spotify's where you go.
You're right.
I'm not sure.
No, it's actually worse. There's absolutely no
I
Jason.
tried Apple Music. It's not that I didn't try it.
No, I have Spotify. I had Apple Music for a long time. Now I'm on Spotify, and I'm giving it the full 3 months.
And then I'm canceling.
I find iTunes is better for what I want. What I want.
Because of the interface or the music choice?
I find iTunes interface is better.
I like the experience.
Maybe Apple has changed their interface. I didn't like it.
I'm a Spotify person.
Yeah, I'm
for
a
sure.
Spotify.
And I had both at the same time.
And I love how I could just someone could make a playlist
And I
can
can go-
listen to their
I don't
playlist.
care about that. I don't care about your playlist.
You know why I like it? Because I watch a lot of TV,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of TV shows have music. And if I say like let's say the TV show Scrubs, for example, old TV show, and I'm like, I like the songs in this show.
Actually, you know what, Casey?
Because someone has taken the time. I sure as hell won't.
Yeah.
But someone has taken the time to find every single song.
You know what,
Make
Casey?
a
That
playlist of
actually
Scrubs.
has happened to me once. There was a movie I wanted to watch. They didn't have it on iTunes, but they had it on Spotify.
And that's
someone put it together.
That's
Yes,
the
that has
beauty of
happened.
Spotify. It's open source. Apple and their
No, it's a community. It's community focused,
Community,
which makes it
exactly.
really good. Want to hear what I think streaming is going to be like?
No, not really. Anyway, so we're done. so we're done. So we're done with this segment.
Can I give you my view on streaming?
Let the man give
All right, go ahead.
Jesus Murphy. I think you're always going to have 5 or 6 options because the cost to run the streaming service is so low compared to the money that everyone's going to be paying for.
Sorry?
it. The cost of running that streaming service is so low that it's
What's
not
low to you?
worth it. I don't know. It doesn't matter what it is.
He's not talking about creating the content. He's talking about
Oh,
streaming.
but if you don't have content, there's no point in having a streaming
But
service.
you'll still have subscribers subscribe to see whatever content you have on there. What
No,
I'm saying,
no. If you don't have content, there's no reason to come there.
you have your own content. Every single station has
So you
their
have to
own
create your own
original.
content.
I get it, but the cost of it
So
compared
just having
to
a streaming service doesn't make sense
The
anymore.
cost of creating a streaming service is not.
expensive.
I understand that, but why do you go to a streaming service? Because of content. So if you don't have content, which you have to pay for or create,
So you think that
you just coming up with a streaming service doesn't mean anything.
So you think Hulu's gonna come up and have there's no shows on there? I'm saying the cost of the shows is low compared to the
I
subscribers
know, but you
they
said
have.
I know, but you have to. That doesn't make sense. What you're saying. You have to have content.
They all have
Pay
content.
for it, but it's not low then.
Okay, listen. The shows and stuff are getting created anyways. A lot of them are running on television. They're already being made and paid for. Okay, putting that on a streaming service and having that service run isn't expensive. The amount of people that subscribe to the service will usually outnumber the cost of put the stuff on there to stream it, which means it doesn't make sense for you to not have that
He's talking
service.
about the CBS All Access. That's
Right?
exactly what CBS All Access is.
But CBS
trying
creates
to-
show.
I know, that's what he's talking about.
They already have shows. So you're always going to have multiple
But they created the
places.
show. It's not that they already have it. They had to pay for those shows.
I get it,
Created.
but-
What he's saying is every network
Has
is gonna
shows.
have its own streaming network. That's what he's saying.
And that's not going to go away. You're always going to have all those different options. Right? Now, is there going to be a winner between Disney and Hulu and Netflix and whatever? I don't think there's ever going to be a lack of subscribers to the point where these people are going to like close their streaming service. They're always going to have the
No,
money.
but you're not going to see massive streaming services open up anymore. It will get shrunken down to a few, just a few. It won't be. Now, will CBS still be showing their stuff on like their website with commercials? Sure, they can still do that. But one of those or 2 or 3 will emerge. So you're going to see Hulu, Amazon Prime. They're all going to drop off because they can't compete. They won't be able to compete. because you only have a finite amount, unless you're making max amounts of money. You only have a finite amount of monies that you're going to put towards these streaming services.
The only
you're not going to get them
company
all.
with a chance running out of money is Netflix. Amazon's never going to run out of money.
Who?
Amazon will never run out of money. Fox will never run out of money. Those they're established.
You know what we're seeing right now? CBS All Access was probably the first network to have their dedicated own streaming service that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
They just opened up last year. We'll see how it works because we don't know. The fact of the matter is, we actually don't know what's going to happen.
No, we don't know what's going to happen.
Right? Either it's going to go one of two ways. Like you said, Les, every single network will have their own streaming service, and they'll just maintain it because they're creating the content anyway. So why not have it?
Mm-hmm.
Or they're just going to be a few giant ones, and they'll buy the content from the CBSs.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I think
so. CBS might pull their stuff off Netflix, but eventually they're going to be like, "We'll make more money."
No, they sell it to Netflix. So why would they pull it?
But that's the point is that
that's the point
right now they're
service.
testing to see, well, enough people buy CBS All Access,
so we can pull our stuff.
So we don't need to have it on Netflix. And that's what we're going to find out. We don't know. It's going to be interesting because are people willing to pay for 5-10 streaming
different
services?
streaming? Well,
I don't think so.
Well, you're seeing it now, Smythe. Disney is pulling their stuff off Netflix.
Yeah, but they're pulling their stuff off Netflix because they're going to try to see if they can compete with it.
Exactly.
But
so same with everybody else is going to do
Disney's,
it. Everyone's going to do it.
Disney is Disney. They could take their stuff off of Netflix.
Well, we don't know yet.
People are going to watch it anyways, right?
We don't know yet. We don't know how many people are going to go to Disney Plus.
Avengers, everyone wants to see that movie. They're putting that.
I know,
on
but
Disney.
they're not releasing that movie on Disney Plus.
Right.
They're releasing it in theaters, so that doesn't mean anything. Again, I keep saying they have to have content on there. They have to create shows. Now, Disney's going to see how they're going to compete with Netflix. Can they compete with Netflix? Everyone seems to think, yes, it's a slam dunk. I'm a little more skeptical about it, and we'll see.
Well,
maybe in 5 years they're going to be like, yeah, Netflix, here's your stuff back. It's not worth it for us. Maybe, I don't know.
This way, okay? First of all, Disney's a giant. They can create content at a cost. They don't care. B, if they're just putting stuff they already have onto their own service and charging for it, there's no risk to them. Does that make sense?
There's a risk to them because they have to develop the app and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
maybe it's a drop in a bucket for them, but there is a risk they have to create. Well, you say it's nothing. I don't know how much it is. So they're gonna have to create. They're gonna have to create this service. They're gonna have to develop this service. They're gonna have to make it as good or better than Netflix, the actual interface and whatnot.
It's all about ratings.
Yeah,
it's all about eyeballs watching the shows. If people aren't willing to pay for it, then the eyeballs aren't watching the shows, which means they're gonna go back to putting the stuff on Netflix.
And I'll ask you guys both. Is there anything on Disney right now that you say, yes, it's worth it for me to buy it right now?
I have no intention of getting a Disney service at the moment.
Yes, because there's nothing there.
That may change.
And they've greenlit, I don't know how many shows now that's going to be on there, and I haven't seen anything that goes, yes, I'm going to get it.
So
now
they may.
They may. That's why I say
we are not their target audience, and you have to understand that. If you have a child,
are their target audience because we have money.
No, a child that's 6 years old is going to demand their parents purchase Disney Plus, and the parents are going to do it.
My kid's going to cry like, here, watch Netflix.
You're going to say that.
I'll go around it. Okay. Which I can. I can go around it. Again,
I understand.
Me and Casey have a TV show that we watched that was on the DC streaming service, and we went around it. We found a way around it. DC actually canceled the show that they came out with because nobody was watching it.
But enough people...
Swamp Thing. They canceled Swamp Thing because nobody's watching it.
Enough people in America have the $6 a month to make sure their kids can watch every Disney princess.
I know, but Smythe, I'm already telling you, someone who's actually tried to do this, DC, who thought they had a huge IP or whatever. They are.
That's not even a logical comparison. Like, think of the concept of how many things Disney has. They now just.
But you've already seen it, Smythe.
That's
my problem.
But the kids that want to watch it. I'm not going to get it. You're not.
But you already own it. That's the thing.
I get it, but I already own everything. I don't need cable, right?
No, you own these movies and stuff like that. So they have to come up with something original.
They will come up with original content that kids are going to want to watch.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You have to see. That's all I'm saying. To say Disney's a slam dunk is not true. It's not a slam dunk. We don't know yet.
Well, to say you don't know just means you don't know about anything. But Disney has the means to create the content that is needed. Okay. They own the properties to create the content that is needed.
Anyway.
We love sports just like you.